The 11th speaker is Ms. Arisa Kawamura from Waseda University ESS. She will deliver her speech under the title of Bias Glasses Close Your Sights. Then Ms. Kawamura, please come up to the center of the stage.
Good afternoon, Master of Ceremonies. Good afternoon, Master of Ceremonies and all of our judges. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are a girl, so it's okay if you fail all the college exams as long as you marry with a good man in the future. You'll be a homemaker anyway. It was about a year ago. I failed an entrance exam for a university, and that's why my dad told me. I knew that. He told me to reduce my stress and pressure from the entrance exam period. I knew it. I got his purpose, but it doesn't make sense to me. Why? Why has he never judged me by Arisa herself? Why am I judged by a category female? Wipe out the bias glasses. Break the glass ceiling. Not only women, but men are also forced to live lives with the black and white sides, the world with K.U.E.L desires goals as the non-glaring sun, and that motivation with dead flowers. In 2016, 10 in 13 countries in the world have at least one law treating men and women differently. There's a long history of fighting for equal rights, yet gender equality has not been achieved for so long. It is quite hard to achieve an ideal equality from both genders' perspectives. The colorful world where they have freedom from pressure as fresh air and they have motivation to grow as cheerfully bloomed flowers. It is quite hard to achieve. However, we should be free from this unfair world where our lives are judged by unequal standards. Today, I would like to talk about the reality of gender inequality. After this speech, I hope everyone will understand how inequality and prejudice exist as natural elements of this society and how ignorance of these impacts our lives. Currently, women are still treated less in some areas. They live in the world where they cannot inhale the fresh air. They keep feeling pressures from the unseen inequality. But the biggest problem here is a lot of them still do not recognize the unfairness of opportunities as a strange thing. They already get used to giving up. They become less motivated by this situation. My former high school teacher gave up gaining promotion at previous workplace because her ability didn't go with actual promotion. In terms of promotion, college graduates has 1.7 times as much as high school graduates, while men's has 10.4 times women's. Gender has much bigger impact than educational background. In this case, she was actually less motivated to work due to unequal chances, and clearly, her opportunities were limited. But here, men, let me strike you with the reality. You are not out of this problem, but you are caught in the wave of gender inequality as women are. My dad was also one of the victims. When I was 14, my dad started to work on part-time basis, so he stayed around house at daytime. My neighbors judged him just a jobless person because people usually believe that men work. Men don't have equal choice of positions at home. As women are, men are not given an equal opportunity. In spite of an uncountable number of feminists who existed to achieve an ideal world for both male and female. Why do these cases still happen and some men become new victims? This is all because of stereotypes called gender-based roles. It unconsciously takes a deep root in people's philosophy. It unconsciously twists the standards to recognize people. We unconsciously recognize a person, male or female. We unconsciously but brutally discriminate people by gender. Before we see one's being, biased glasses cloud our sight. Many of us have been forgetting for a long time to see through one's being. We recognize gender instead. In order to free yourself from the shackles of prejudice, what can you do? Eliminating the concept of gender-based roles is a key to have freedom from inequality. But as I mentioned, it is quite hard, even if we try hard to change our mindset. Then what can be a wiper of our biased glasses? Compare and rejudge. We must compare and rejudge our judgment from third person's perspective. When we recognize a person, we must have a comparison in other areas if there's a gap between the person and the compared one. This rejudging process helps you reduce an equal judgment towards somebody else, but also recognize the existence of gender bias in our philosophy. Remember, category does not create us, but it's who we are creating ourselves. So please, do not give up and make your voice. There might be people who live similar uncomfortable lives. Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time to take the first step to achieve gender equality. Let's wipe out the biased glasses by comparing and rejudging so that our sight will be free from gender inequality and we would see the real nature of one human. Thank you very much.
We have a question and answer period. Mr. Eboshi, please.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Kawamura.
Afternoon.
Okay, how do you feel right now?
I'm so nervous and I don't know because of stage tension I'm crying here.
Okay. Let's move on to the question and answer period. Okay, so this speech is about gender inequality.
Yes.
So what aspect of gender inequality do you want to discuss?
And with my speech, I want to discuss maybe that there are a lot of regulations that have that treat humans unequal. But what I want to discuss here is that more personal space in our personal communication, because as I mentioned, I felt uncomfortable about what my dad said. Maybe they daily feel uncomfortable, right? Not only me. So I want to discuss about that and I'm giving a speech that each of us should recognize that fact, and that will be connected to the gender equality in whole society.
Okay. So there are a lot of inequality in the world. So why did you specify gender inequality, not other poverty or etc.?
Because of course, I realized a lot of various types of inequality. throughout the media or something, but why am I focusing on gender inequality? It's because from the experience of studying abroad to other country, I was really interested in marketing, so I learned a lot of gender bias that apply to marketing aspect. So I learned a lot about that inequality, and at that time, like I feel uncomfortable about about dad's philosophy. So the gender inequality was the strongest inequality in my life.
Okay, that's good. Okay, next question is, what is gender equality society?
Sadly, the world where there's gender equality does not exist, but what I imagine is the gender equality society is that each individuals are judged by equal standards, and they have freedom to dream, and they can have motivation to achieve that goals.
Okay, very good. Time has come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.